Hello my friends and welcome back to the rabbit hole and happy new year. I'm excited for today's video. We are going to be going over my personal picks for the best and the worst makeup releases of 2019. A couple of things you have to know for this video. So first off, I really do like to do these based only on products that were released in 2019, not so much just, my top makeup of all time. I like to reflect back and think about what was released, what did we learn in 2019, that type of situation. But I don't buy everything. I've never been I guess I'm a review channel, but I don't buy every single release. It sounds too exhausting to me. So I just buy what interests me, and trust me, I get enough content from that. I greatly admire channels that are able to put out a video every single day, but I have absolutely no idea how they do it. Anyway, so as such, I haven't tried everything. This is only based on what I have tried. Sounds like I dodged a couple of bullets in 2019, the Jaclyn Hill lipstick release. Didn't she also come out with highlighters? So I guess my point here is don't take these videos too seriously. Don't take them too seriously from anybody. It's just makeup. It washes off. That's kind of the whole point of it. That's what makes it so great, I think. So let's go ahead and get into some of the best. And the reason I do best before worst is because I feel that if you start with worst and someone disagrees with you, they get mad and they leave and you will never see them again. Goodbye. Enjoy your life. I hope it is wonderful. So we're going to start this video off with something that was released at the beginning of this year, and I feel like I talked about it for a while, and then I just kind of quit talking about it. But the reality is, I never stopped using it. I have consistently used this product almost every single day since I bought it. I'm on my second tube now, and this is the Smashbox Studio Skin Flawless 24-Hour Concealer. I know I've talked about this before, but when it comes to concealers, I feel like I need a very different type of concealer for under my eyes than for spot concealing. For under my eyes, I do not like full coverage. I like very, very light coverage. My absolute holy grail is the Ulta Youthful Glow Concealer. I've never stopped using that one since I found it either. That one under my eyes, this one on any blemishes that I have, because this one is more full coverage, but not that very thick and kind of cakey feeling that you sometimes get from full coverage concealers. And they're not kidding when they say 24-hour concealer. This thing doesn't budge, it doesn't disappear, it doesn't fade. It's such a good concealer. And anyway, the story with this is right before I bought this one, I had bought the new one from Fenty, which it's not great. But after I bought this, I have not bought a high-end concealer since, because I haven't needed to. I have continued to purchase some drugstore concealers because I'm looking for a drugstore dupe for this one. But yeah, that's just to share with you guys. I love this. It is the correct shade for me, light neutral olive, absolute perfection. What a hidden gem. I think that this one just went out through Influencer or is going out through Influencer, so if you guys have tried this, let me know. Hopefully more people do. Hopefully more people discover Smashbox. What a massively underrated brand. Another product that was released earlier in the year and has been my favorite through the entire year is the Lime Crime Ghost Veil. I love this product so much. This is what I needed in my life because I was not wearing my bullet lipsticks. I just wasn't wearing them. I wore only matte liquid lipsticks, the kind that dry down and don't budge, or lip gloss. I have all these bullet lipsticks and I wasn't wearing them because they weren't staying long enough on my lips. This is what I needed. This makes a world of difference for me. And what's really interesting about this also is that if you are going for a close to transfer proof finish, then you apply this and immediately put your lipstick over it. If you don't like that feeling, apply this, let it dry, and then put your lipstick on, and you get kind of more of a hydrating, not as transfer proof finish. So I don't know how they did it. It's one of those products that I just think it's revolutionary. I do understand why a lot of people don't talk about Lime Crime, so there's that. For once, I do understand. But, if you're just looking for something that will help you to wear your bullet lipsticks, as was my issue, then yeah, this is an incredible product. Next on my list is the Juno Moonshine Primer. There was a phrase that I've been missing every time I describe this, and it clicked when I was thinking about skincare the other day. This product is cosmetically elegant, when a lot of primers are kind of not so much. You know what I mean, right? Some primers you kind of have to buff into your skin. They kind of just sit there for a while. I feel like this one does a really good job of absorbing into your skin and plumping from within. That's so important to me. I need my foundation to go onto well-hydrated skin, and as somebody with dry skin, that's not the default. I cannot just slap foundation on. I gotta have that moisture there. And what I have said before regarding this primer is that it reminds me of the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream and the Bobbi Brown primer, probably even more so the Charlotte Tilbury. I was thinking about that. It's really got that same exact texture. You know, I just think somebody needed to come out with something that was more affordable and resembled those very high-end products, and Juno did it. Juno originally sent me this and I repurchased it with my own money, and in doing so I also ordered some more of their products. I now feel like the brand is, they have some hits and misses, but overall their later direction has been really, really good. I'm excited to see what else they come out with. Are they going to continue duping these very expensive products? I hope so. The next two products on my best list are both from the drugstore, and just so you know, this is not me cramming some drugstore in here so I have some cheap options. Nope, these are every bit as good as high-end. I see no reason to spend more money on these products when these brands did them so well. So first up, we got the Face and Body Blender from Real Techniques. I have talked about why I love this before. So this right here, it is a really nice buffing brush, but do not stop there. I don't know if this is a common experience or not, but sometimes when I'm using a sponge to apply my foundation, occasionally the foundation will just kind of lift off my skin and stick into the sponge. You guys, let me tell you what, I've tried so hard to figure out what causes that. I've heard that it is dry skin, I've heard that it is oily skin. I've sat here thinking those are kind of polarizing ideas though. I really don't know, but if my skin is kind of being finicky, then this is what I grab for over my sponge, because I know I'm just gonna dab it the same way I dab my beauty blender, and I'm not gonna have that issue. And then finally, and this one is really new, I don't love to just call a product that I just tried a favorite, but like I said in the video in which I used this, I was going to travel with it. I did. I used nothing else since I purchased this and tried it in that video. The Maybelline Hyper Easy Eyeliner. Why have I not heard anybody talk about this? And you want to know what this is? This is a brush tip eyeliner for $9. Does me saying brush tip ring a bell? Anyone remember something called the Tattoo Liner from a brand we don't talk about anymore? Yeah, this is a dupe for that, except I actually never liked the Tattoo Liner, whereas I love this. It is incredibly fine, it is so easy to work with, easy to grip, a fantastic size. It is so matte and so dark in color from the second you apply it. It does dry fairly quickly, so maybe it's not the best for absolute beginners, but I'm not that great at drawing wings because I'm an impatient person. Might as well just be honest about that fact. I get impatient and I'm like, I don't care if they're uneven, I just want them done. But this makes it so easy and a lot easier to perfect my eyeliner, or at least make it look a little better, because again, you have such a fine line that you're working with. It's easier to get them, you know, mostly straight. Now this is not even slightly dried out on me yet, but it is pretty new, so that is one thing that I can't comment on yet, how long it lasts. I still suspect that if you want an eyeliner to last a really long time, you should go with the inkwell type or the pot, the gel eyeliners. But again, if you're looking for ease and quick winged eyeliner, what an absolute hidden gem. I do have an honorable mention here, a product that I personally really love, but it is discontinued. One of those that came and went really quickly, and that would be the Lancome Le French Glow Bronzer. This is the only product that was sent to me. It's one of those products where, like I've said, I'm going to do one of those, PR that I've repurchased videos. The thing about this type of product, or eyeshadow palettes, is how often do you need to repurchase them? I've used this bronzer since Lancome sent it to me, and I don't think I'm going to run out of it anytime soon, but it's just so easy to work with. I struggled for years with bronzer, and there's something so magical about this. I really never liked bronzer. I didn't like it. I thought it made me look kind of muddy. This is everything to me. Again, it's discontinued, but Lancome, you should come out with another one of these. You really should. Make it permanent. This is an incredible product. And now for my 5 worst. We're gonna start a little mild with some products that I just personally didn't love. So the Anastasia Eye Primer, I feel like people either absolutely love this or absolutely hate it. I really don't like it. I don't know if I'm to the level of hate, but it doesn't really do anything for me. There's some of the criticisms that people have expressed with this would be that too much comes out. That's very true. You need such a tiny, tiny amount of this, and when you squeeze it, it goes everywhere. That's why I don't want to squeeze it right now. And yeah, it's just kind of sticky. It's not, I don't love using it. I don't feel that it does anything for me personally. But I talked about this a long time ago too. I feel that if you have drier lids like I do, you have a completely different set of preferences in eyeshadow primer. So for example, I never liked the Wet n Wild eye primer, and yet people with oily lids seem to love it. I think it might be that case with this. I think you might love this if you have oily lids, and you might hate it if you have dry lids like I do. Oh, I hate to put this one in here, but it was just so disappointing. The Fenty Beauty Brow MVP. I really should have returned this. The reason I didn't is that I convinced myself that even though I do not love the brow product itself, which I don't, it's very hard to apply, I convinced myself that this little brush tip here was revolutionary and I should keep it and use it with my other brow pencils. I don't. I think the thing about coming out with something innovative is it's either going to be a new design where people say, oh, how did we live without that? Or it's going to be, yeah, but there's a reason why we've always done things the way we have. I'll tell you guys what, there's a reason why we have spoolies on brow pencils instead of these. It's just hard to work with. It doesn't really work the way you think it would. You think you're just going to brush your brows into place, but it just doesn't really do anything. I talked about this in my ranking palettes video. It was my worst eyeshadow palette of the year, and I feel like I have to put it in this video as well. This is the Gilded Rouge eyeshadow palette from Milani. Just really disappointing. They changed their formula, and I don't like it. They went in the direction of dusty, not really as pigmented as their old blendable, buildable formula. It was such a disappointment to me. And worse yet, they actually discontinued their amazing formula. Those palettes are discontinued now, so this is all we have. I'm so mad at Milani. I swear, please, Milani, you gotta go back to your old formula. Along with this, I have to rank that Stila foundation. I have to say that was one of the worst products that I ever tried, and that too was in my ranking foundations video. That was a scarring experience for me. I'm able to laugh at it now, but oh my gosh, that was such a bad product. I am talking about the Lingerie Soufflé Foundation. If you missed that, I will link that video, and you will see why I'm ranking it as one of the worst products of 2019. Last is an entire collection, you guys. It's an entire collection that was an absolute disaster for me. I've given you a giant clue. If you follow this channel, you know what I'm about to talk about. And that would be the Wet n Wild Pump collection. Was that what it was called? Pump? I actually really like the lip balm and the blush, but I made a terrible decision in my life. I decided to go and buy their little connectors and put the lip balm and the blush that I love so much onto these connector sticks, and I was like, oh, it's very Cover FX style, clearly what they were, duping here. The problem is, I've stored these in my purse, pulled them out to, reapply my lip balm, and it comes flying out. And you guys, product falling out of its tubes is absolutely mild compared to the full story with this. If you saw the skincare video, you know how this darn collection caused me a massive amount of grief that went on for over a month. But, as far as their makeup, I gotta show you guys this. So I had this little stick as well. I put the primer and the toner on it. I haven't pulled this out in a while because the primer is probably the worst smelling makeup item that I've ever tried in my life. Do you guys know the sensation of being around somebody that's just thrown up? You know how it's really hard to, it's like that. That's not the worst of it. Do you see all these little yellow spots in this product? Hello, mold, how are you? I'm gonna put this in the trash as soon as I finish this video. I didn't even realize this happened. I pulled this product out to talk about its smell, and now here we are looking at mold. I bought this in April, March, something like that. And yeah, it's already moldy. It's moldy. I feel like Wet n Wild really did Cassie incredibly dirty in this collection. They didn't test any of these products before they released them. They're not dermatologist tested, which is why I had such a disaster with the skincare. It really, that was the start for me of losing all trust in Wet n Wild, even though I loved the brand before this whole situation happened. And then that whole line about being cruelty-free thing happened, and I just have not wanted to buy from Wet n Wild since. I hope that they get their act together because I really have loved some of their products, but yeah, this bad of an experience with the brand, it is actually really hard to forget it. It is actually kind of hard to end with the worst because then you're kind of ending on a rather negative note, especially when you're like, look at the mold in my products. So I'm sorry if that was a bit of a negative note. But I'm gonna try to end this video on a positive note because again, we're starting a new year. So cheers to 2020. Let's hope that in 2020, brands test their products more thoroughly. Let's hope that we don't have any gigantic disaster scenarios, hairy lipsticks, etc. And let's hope that we can all just have a wonderful new year. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.